everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to talk about and focus around this one quote that I was thinking about last night. And that quote is, if one waits, one can play any deck for cheap. Think about that. If one waits, you can play any deck for cheap. Very interesting quote. I came up with that last night, and people are going to be asking me, well, what do you mean by that, Seto? Well, I know I've talked about being a budget player and everything of that nature, but look at the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In a nutshell as the last year and a half, really. The game has become a lot cheaper. Cards are getting reprinted a lot faster. In the past year, we had, Dark Destroyer came out, was $100 and something card, $120 card, okay? Within 4 months, 5 months, it had a reprint in the Gold Series and was $8, $10. Flash forward till, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary Decks 2. Blue Eyes stuff came out about 5 months ago in April, May. 5 months later, most of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Of that stuff is getting reprinted in Legendary Decks 2 or has got reprinted since then. Spirit Dragon, reprint. White Stone of the Ancients, reprint. White Spirit Dragon, reprint. The only 2 cards not reprinted, alternative is about $10. You have to bite the bullet. And Sage. That'll eventually get reprinted and probably alternativized as well down the road maybe. But literally, most cards now in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Are getting reprinted a lot quicker than they used to. And you can build decks a lot cheaper if you're patient. Yes, a deck may be top tier right now, but if you can bite the bullet and play with last year's top tier deck, or a deck that's a very solid deck that you only had to put $100 into as a whole, really, you can be a very good budget player that way. And I'm talking about not even just building a good solid deck and breaking down your other decks to build one solid good deck. I'm talking about if you want to build a multitude of different decks on a really strictly budget, like you're in middle school or high school and you only got like tops $100 for your main and extra deck. That's very tough. What I'm trying to say, guys, is there are so many, if you're patient, you can build these good decks. Okay? You really, really can. And the way that Konami's reprinting stuff, I mean, unless you have the money, you can go buy the stuff right out. Like the high rarity stuff, which I do. Like, I wouldn't trade, even though it's gone down in price, any of my hollow Blue Eyes stuff, because either A, it has sentimental value, or B, I just love the hollow versions and I've gotten used to them and they've brought me good luck. If that's a thing. But I wouldn't trade them for all the world. I mean, Blue Eyes is probably the first deck in a long time that I've literally hollowed out max rarity all the way because I love the deck that much. Now, saying that, to build decks under $100, some things you have to do is be patient. You can't just go out there and spend your $100 on, 2 good cards, 1 Pod Desires. It's not going to help. 1 card will not make your deck better. Sometimes yes, but theoretically, 1 in 50 cards will not make your deck better all the time. Yes, it'll make maybe 1, maybe 3, 4 duels better. Maybe you draw it all the time. Maybe you're lucky like that. But if you got $100, you want to invest that in cards that for the long term will be good. So that's why I always say the Megatins are very good places to start. And be patient. When sets first drop and there are cards that are like $20 and you need play sets of 3 of those cards, just don't buy them. Especially if they're iconic, nostalgic cards. Look at look at the Blue Eye stuff. That's got reprinted very quickly. Dark Magician stuff, give it 5 more, 6 more months, guys. Sometime in Gold Series next year, or at the latest, Megatins in 2017, they will get reprinted. Dark Magician stuff by next year, by the end of next year, will get reprinted. So if you're patient, you can build this stuff for cheap, guys. I'm not joking. So patience is very important when you're trying to build decks for cheap. And if you got only $100, buy the cheap, good, solid stuff. And when you have a little bit of money, what you can do is you can invest in cards that will most likely go up in price. A good recent investment, when it's no longer a good investment, was any of the TCG archetypes out of Dark Illusions. Forbidden City, that was a $10 card for weeks on end. Now, it's a $22 plus card. Spiral Agent was about a $3, $4 card. Now, it's about a $12, $14 card, and the price is increasing as we know more Spiral support. Really what I'm saying here, guys, is if you know from past experience that TCG archetypes are usually good in some way, shape, or form, you could have picked these cards up, invested in them, and made a profit of maybe $10, $15. Then you add that money, turn around, buy a card that you need. Maybe that's a synchro, maybe it's make your extra deck better, things like that. So I would say if you're a budget player, the main things you need to focus on is use your money wisely, be patient, and on top of that, be frugal and use tech cards. Be prepared. You know, I've met so many good players out there that they may not have the best version of their deck, but they have a very good solid deck. They're just looking for a couple of pieces they're missing, but they don't want to break the bank on it, so they'll wait for reprints. They'll wait and be patient on for certain things because they have a feeling that that card is so popular it will get reprinted. Popular cards and good cards that are in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Always get reprinted, usually within a year, most of the time. There are exceptions. There are exceptions, guys. Omega, it's been a year since Omega's been out. It hasn't got reprinted. It's been, it took about over a year for Lava Chain and Dagusto Emerald. It took about 2 years for those cards to get reprinted. But the thing you'll notice in that aspect is those are not main set cards. If the cards come out of the main set, they will usually get reprinted within a year. If they're not out of the main set, they usually take about a year or so to reprint. About 2 years. At the most. Not always, but that's usually the case. Eye of Timaeus, things of that nature, took about 2 years for that to get reprinted as well. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is if you're going to take money, invest, and you want to be a budget player that only wants to spend $100 to build their deck total, use your money wisely, be frugal, be a good player so you know what tech little cards you can use to counteract the meta that are on a budget, and know the system of Yu-Gi-Oh! Know what cards will go up that you can make a profit on, buy those cards, invest in them, be an investor, like on the stock market. Be it like on the stock market. Oh, I know they'll come up with a new product that will be really good and revolutionize, such and such gaming mechanic, or such and such, like on the stock market. You'd be like, and then I invest in that company. It goes up. I sell it. I make $100. Okay, take that $100, put it into something else. Take a little bit. Take about 50 of it, invest it into something else. Take the other 50, put it into my deck. You keep doing that. Rinse, repeat, and you can have more money to spend in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Even at a young age. And on top of that, be a very good player and have a very good, solid deck. I'm not lying to you. It's very true. And anything out there you guys learn from being a very frugal player, even if you're an old player and you have tips that you can give to the younger players out there, please leave them down in the comment section below so we can help out the other generations of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And just help us all out to love and enjoy this game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That we all enjoy. Till next time, guys, I'm Seto Kaba, and take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.